Hey, good morning, guys and gals. I've got another little sign that I'm going to do, and this is a little bit different because it's outset letters and they're fairly small, but they're a different font than I normally use. I wanted to use something. This is actually for a friend of mine that I met at 4Ds, actually, over in LA. Anyway, the only reason I laid these out here is just to show you that I cut these layout letters, cut them separate, and then I use them to lay out my board. I'm using another piece of those drawer fronts that I got all of that material, and I believe this is maple. I think that's what it is. So I'm kind of excited about cutting this because I don't know that I've ever carved maple before. So anyway, this font, by the way, is Seago UI semi-bold italic. It's just one I kind of picked. I thought it kind of went with the motif of the sign. So I am going to move this all out of the way, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to actually do these outset, but we're going to come back in just a second and fire up the router. All right, so I have got the profile bit in. I think it's gonna cut narrow enough on these letters, and you guys know my rule. I'll always use a profile bit before I am forced into using the carving liner. So I'll check the depth. I think I'm right around, yeah, just a hair over 1/8 of an inch. And I might adjust that after I start cutting. I might adjust that up or down depending on how wide the line is. All right. Let's get this going. There's my lights. Here we go. Well, why not? Let's plug it in just for giggles. See, I didn't say the other word. I just said giggles. Here we go. Okay, guys, well, this maple cuts really, really hard. It's very dense. It doesn't have any really soft hard. It's just all hard. And my bit may be getting dull because if you go back and watch that, yeah, my bit, it looks to me like it's starting to get dull. Time to sharpen that thing up. But if you go back and watch, you'll notice on several of these, I stayed way away from the line, and then I came back in and trimmed it up on most of these. And that is a combination of not being exactly sure of this material because it's the first time I've cut it, and the fact that it cuts really hard, and I think my bit's getting dull. So it's much easier to hold a line and be accurate to come back in and just trim it up rather than cutting it right off the bat. Anyway, all right, so I am going to switch routers, come back with my 90 degree, and we will do the background. Okay, folks, so what I've got here is I've got two profile bits. This one is the one I was just using for cutting this, and you can see how it's kind of getting discolored. It definitely needs to be sharpened, but it is fairly clean. And then this one was, I think this one, I'm going to put this one in because it's going to cut a fatter line than this one. And I want to put a heavy line around here before I start using my 90. But one thing that I wanted to share with you is I keep one of these right in my drawer. And what I want to do is every once in a while, like after every sign, I just want to brush that bit, and it could be in the router. I could do it there just as well as in my hand. I'm just switching bits. So that will help keep that bit from getting caked up with stuff. So I'm going to put this one away, and actually I need to go sharpen that one when I get done here, and then I'll just put this other bit. Now, some people ask, how far do you put the bit in? And I know there's a lot of recommendations that you put it all the way in and then just bring it out, you know, 1/8 of an inch for expansion. But that obviously will not work in this situation for me. And, well, let me show you why. Because then the actual, oh shoot, then this is down too close and I don't have enough vision in there. So it means the shaft is actually too close. I need to have you know, a lot more vision in there.
Right in the way.
Huh? The mic?
Light.
The light, yeah. I need, so if I was in all the way and then just out a little bit, which now I can't even get my hands on it.
So I'm trying to be right in there. Ooh, don't move.
That would just put this too close to where I'm carving and I wouldn't be able to see very well. And it brings the, you can't tell from that side. Well, you can kind of, the motor actually comes down too close to it. Kind of just obstructs my view a little bit. So I'm going to bring that out probably another 1/2 inch. Oh, the flies are swarming. So that's about where I'm going to have it. You do want to have it in there a long ways, but not quite where some recommendations are that it's only out 1/8 of an inch out of the bottom section. Man, my words are just not working today. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, so now let me adjust my depth. So again, what I'm doing here is I'm just going to cut a fat line at probably about not quite 1/8, probably 3/16. Yeah, a little over 3/16, so I can get a wider line around there, so I don't have to get so close with my 90 degree background bit. All right, enough talking. Let's do it. Okay, now I can put the 90-degree bit in and go in and put a cloud around there. We'll be right back. All right, guys, so I'm going to use a little bit different router that you guys don't see me use very often. This was a Makita RT0701C that I had set up as a dedicated operation over in my shop, but that operation has changed, so I decided to put this into play with my my sign carving. So I've got my 90-degree V-groove in there, and it's set at about 3/16. I think that depth is about right, but let's find out. Here we go. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I'm going to actually draw.
There's my pencil.
Oh, are you looking for that?
Yes. Silly.
Rather than doing a cloud, I'm just going to do kind of a free-form shape. Try to stay somewhere around there. Let's see how this works out. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I don't think I'd want to carve a big sign out of maple. Now, after doing this, my hands are starting to cramp up just from this little thing. So, anyway, so now I'm going to brush it real hard. Try and get all that stuff out of there. I got a couple little high spots. I don't know where my little, oh, there it is. One of my little carving tools. Take out the high spots so they don't come up as white when we spray and sand it off. But yeah, that is that's some tough stuff right there. That's where you have to be careful. If you try and put too much pressure on here, this is what I've done in the past. I'm trying to chip that out, and then it lets go, and then I lose the corner of that because I did that. Yeah, brings back memories. I've done that more times than I'd like to admit. So anyway, let me finish this up, guys, and we'll come back. I'll spray this off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll get this sanded off. All right, that's the first sand. Where's my air hose? Oh, there it is. Here we go. There we go. Okay, I forgot to mention I use the primer on here, but again, the primer and the ink are basically the same to me. They both work about the same. So I'm going to put a coat of finish on this, and I'm using the triple thick because I know it's going to be just inside. Using my little Rust-Oleum handle there. You able to keep up with me, babe? Uh-oh. Let's put that right there.
All right, you'll have to clip some of that out there. Yeah, actually, I'm sorry, do stand up.
So there it is.
Can you turn it more this way?
Yeah.
You're kind of shadowing there.
Is that better? So there it is. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, so I'll just go over on this side and we'll close it up. It's kind of unconventional. It's not the way we normally do it, but
Kind of hard to
yeah.
film with two cameras.
Right, we got so much going on. So anyway, that's it, guys.
Excuse me.
So I can't say I'm a real fan of the maple as far as the way it carves. Although my bits could have been a little bit dull, but this stuff is solid. I mean, it carves really consistent, but very, very hard. So, but I like the results. It actually came out really good. I'm very happy with it. But yeah, maple is tough. It's tough stuff. So you definitely want to start with sharp bits. Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me, eric@makeawoodsign.com. And if you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love for you to subscribe. Don't forget to click that little bell icon. We're on every day on Instagram, now on Pinterest. We've got some videos on Pinterest and other places. Facebook, yeah, we're all over Facebook too. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. We love you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.